Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wichita Heights Stadium for tonight's matchup between the undefeated Wichita Northwest Grizzlies and the 2-1 Heights Falcons. With me, Mitch. Welcome back, Mitch, for another week. You ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready to go. I had so much fun the last couple weeks. I could not wait to come back and broadcast another Heights high school football game.
Well, it should be a good one. There was kind of a lopsided victory last week. But right now, we're going to take a few minutes, and we're going to play some highlights. We got some highlights from our first week win over Wichita North. Heights beat our first home game. We won on the road 17-7, and then last week, or 2 weeks ago, we beat Wichita North 72-0, and we're going to play those highlights right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wichita Heights Stadium. We got a great matchup tonight between the home North High Redskins and the visiting Wichita Heights Falcons. This is considered their flex formation, and they're going to run a little bit of toss outside to number five, John Randall, and he is one heck of an athlete, and he's taking it to the house on the very first play. No flags on the play, gain of about 56 yards for him, and a score already. A lot of times they'll go double slot, double receiver, but they're going to run slot, tight end, and they're just going to give it to the fullback up the middle, run a little bit of belly play, and he's going to outrace them all.
When you said fullback, I have to ask. Okay, we have Dingle keeps it up the middle, breaking tackles.
And Dingle's going to score a little midline right there, kept it on the keeper, and he went for about 25 on that play. Had a touchdown pass. And they're going to go right back to it with a slant for Chase Harris. So they ran a little slant. That's a nice little play right there for DJ.
That is hard to defend because he was able to put that right in the gap.
What was that, about a 10-yard pass right there?
I believe so.
Heights is going to get 5 yards back now, making it 1st and 20. And we actually have some time left. Or is there, we're going to have one on-time down? Okay.
Yep.
Since it was a
penalty
defensive play.
Versus penalty.
And they're going to give a counter.
Cross-buck counter.
So that was John Randall right there with another carry, number 5. He went for 50, so he has two touches. Maybe they'll try it. Seemed like the last couple times they've been in that trip formation, they have rolled it out, but they're just going to try a quick little pass to the outside slot receiver. Pretty good block right there by Caden Clausen.
All right, and tackle from behind by Tion Hicks. That was almost to do this.
There's a little zip motion there to the corner, and John Randall's just going to kind of walk into the end zone right there for about a 10-yard gain for him. We got a flag on the play?
No, we had one of our defense. So we'll see what he has dialed up for these guys. Oh, and a snap over the head into the end zone. What's Wassel going to do? He goes down, and it's going to be a safety. Minimize the damage. That's what you got to do. That's a very smart play by a young player and a sophomore. Minimize the damage, only give up 2 points.
To come up and help. And what a heck of a return right here. Jaden Hamilton, he's going to take it. Did he take it all the way?
He scores. Yes, he does.
I think that he got that about the 40-yard line back there, so that was a –
well, and it was a kick after a safety. So what you can do is either punt.
Yes.
Or you can kick it off a tee from the 20, which is what they chose. They kick it off the tee from the 20. You can choose to do either. Some people like to punt.
Starters, offensive linemen. I don't think I have. I'm getting to them. But it's like they score so fast, like right there again. So that's number 3, R.J. Richard with another touchdown. He had that was about 32 yards for a touchdown, and that's his second touchdown. He's got 100 and
1st and 10 with a doubles. Okay, now
going
they're stretching
long.
Vertically and intercepted by Heights.
There's number 9 right there. I believe that's Jaden Hamilton. So Jaden Hamilton has a couple. Oh, no, he's just been playing some defense. I thought maybe he had a long. They're going to go with no back right here. So a little bit of, 2 slots, but no fullback back there. So almost like a no-look play. And they're just going to give toss to Randall on the outside edge.
Toss with and
He's going to go.
Bevy of Redskins are with him, and he might beat them to the edge. I think he's got it.
That was from the 12-yard line.
That's an 88-yard run on rocket toss.
So plus 88 for John Randall. Guy, he does not want to embarrass anybody, but he's going to let his kids play. And then there's a touchdown.
And
did he get in?
They said he got in.
He
before
got
the
in.
Fumble.
So touchdown there at 0 hour at 7 o'clock in the morning. So he gets after it a little bit. Perfect.
And that
10
is
for 10.
10 for 10.
Okay, so that was the highlights of the first week against, well, actually our second week, 72-0 win against Wichita North. And then last week, Heights and East faced off, and it was a 16-13 loss. And we've got a few highlights here for the first half of East, and we're going to show that right now. That defense to jump, and Coach Jared Add is calling the play down there. He's calling something on the wristband. You can see them all look, and then they're going to try to come up with a play and get the first down here, giving it right back to John Randall on the ISO right up the middle.
It looks like we had a tackle made by number 26. Number 26 is Adam Afay. He's a senior defensive back. All right, I'm still trying to find.
No, the numbers are almost impossible to see. We're going to do our best. There's a little veer right there, and DJ's going to keep it.
He gets kind of escorted out by number 24.
Good read right there. Pickup of
Joseph Gianal, senior DB.
We're going to call 15 yards there for DJ. Maybe some type of misdirection play possibly right here at 3rd and 5. And we'll see what happens. And there is that misdirection play. And John Randall going to pick up the first down, gain of about 10 for John Randall.
Tackled by number 9, Pons. He's a senior DB running back.
They're just going to go quarterback sneak for the Falcons.
And they give it to him.
And they give it one. Yeah, there it is right there. DJ Dingle with the score.
We have a little bit of tempers flaring down here.
There's a good shot right there. Some celebrations right there with DJ handing the ball back to the referee. Looks like the referee missed it, but that was just a 1-yard run right there by DJ. Just caught him off guard on the defense. And good opening drive for the Heights Falcons, taking it right down the field and scoring on their opening drive here. Brings up 1st and 20, 1st and 15. John Randall, he's going to get 10 of it back.
And it looks like tackle is by number 8, Darius Cooper. And East High is one of our rivals, but I do love good offensive line play, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
There the defender or the running back kind of ran outside, and first one there for the Falcons again was Jalen Hanks picking up his 3rd tackle of the night.
And it's a little closer to the tackles. Right now we have trips up to the field, a single receiver, an orbit motion out by number 24, and it looks like Mitchell's taking his time to throw it and is going to get sacked.
Got to be careful right there of someone jumping over the top right there. I believe that was Marion Wilkins trying to jump over the top, making it look exciting. You don't want to do that. We're going to give the sack to Javon Martin. He was right there. He was on the bottom of the pile, one of the first guys that I saw get to the play. And looks like Coach Akpin is going to call a timeout here with 2:50 remaining. Score bonus. There you go right there. And that's the guy you got to try to give it to is Randall. He's the guy that can take it to the house at almost any play, and Randall picks up 8 right there.
It took a handful of East High defenders to bring him down.
As you heard from tonight's next man, Mr. Walker would like to recognize our Madrigal in their first performance in 7 months. This will be their one and only football game performance this season. These students that work diligently online to prepare their part. Only getting 2 short rehearsals, Mr. Walker would also like to take a moment and recognize our senior Madrigal for their commitment to vocal music at Wichita Heights. And most of these students have been in vocal music for all 4 years of their high school career. Our senior Madrigal class is as follows: Demonte Howard, Courtney Medley, Kylie Henry, Jillian Gonzalez, Angelica Delgado, Jaden Earl, Zach Berry, Aaron Meyer, Stephen Edwards, Dylan Gupperschmidt, Leon Castaneda, Megan Christenberry. Congratulations, senior medical class of 2021. Now, everyone, please stand for our national anthem as performed by Wichita High Council introductions from Mark Walker, assisted by French University student teacher Emily Chancellor. Wichita High Gerald PC presenting the colors this season. Cadet Captain James Soames, Cadet Commander Sergeant Nida Concho, Cadet First Lieutenant Dwight Meyer, Cadet Quincy McCarthy. They are led by retired Master Sergeant Eric Jacob.
All right, and that was our national anthem sung by the Heights Madrigals. If you could hear the public dress announcer, that was the Heights Madrigals under the direction of Mr. Mark Walker, and the junior ROTC color guard under the direction of Mr. Eric Yeager. Now, we're going to show the second half highlights. We got about 3 minutes left of those highlights of the second half, and we're going to play that right now. And last week, Heights defense was in a more of a 4-2 look against North High, which is more compact offense a little bit. But East is really spreading them out.
Back, and he lays it out for an interception.
Oh, and goes down, but that's Elijah Mosley. Elijah Mosley with the interception. See if Heights is going to go back to the running game, or they're just going to almost go quarterback keeper. Just a little bit of quarterback around the end, maybe a little speed option right there. One thing that you saw last week was a big mismatch in athleticism between Heights and North. And then now this week, I mean, it really matches up. So that run right there, if Randall would have had that space last week against North, he probably would have taken it to the house. But East High's got a really good set of players, and he's some athletes.
Dingle has a good read and takes it for a first down.
Got to make sure that they don't let the home run play happen. And there's John Randall right there picking up about 10 yards.
They tripped up. It looked
we're going to give Randall about 9 on that carry.
Pons is doing a good job holding his ground.
And they're going to drop straight back, looking for a pass. DJ's going to scramble, running to the left. He's going to pick up quite a few yards, run out of bounds.
And
he's got a first down of about 12, 13 yards. Good decision right there by DJ of not throwing the ball up for a chance for a turnover. And going over the top, has a wide open receiver. Going to be on the 1 yard line.
Touchdown saving tackle by, it looks like Pond, but they let him get behind him.
I cannot believe they let him get behind. We're going to give that pass right there for about 45 yards. But You know, the coach had 2 unsportsmanlikes, and then the players get 2 unsportsmanlikes. You know, players usually follow coaches.
They do. So we have a
Heights scores 16-12.
And that's 2 rushing touchdowns for him.
Last time had a pretty good punt, really deep. And get another good punt right there over the head, and they're going to down it inside the 5-yard line.
And they are down at the 2-yard line.
Yeah. Oh, going to run toss. Halfback pass.
Halfback pass. No. Intercepted by number 4. And he goes down. East High ball game. And
now that's disrespect right there, in my opinion. Going over there and clapping in front of the
that is
total disrespect.
That's like it's kind of like school on Sunday.
All right, and that was the highlights of last week's loss, 13-16 loss to Wichita East, and so now it looks like they're getting ready to do the coin toss here. We'll go with that here in just a moment, but we'll talk a little bit about this game today. Right now, currently Heights is 2-1, winning the first 2 weeks, losing last week to Wichita East. Tough game against Wichita Northwest tonight, and then followed up by South and Southeast the next two weeks. Last year's loss, 2019, was a 79-0 loss to Northwest. Lost in 2018, lost in 2017. The last time Heights beat Northwest was 53-33, Mitch.
53-33.
That in 2016. We started that game on a Friday night, and then it got postponed to Saturday.
That's right.
Because of weather.
I remember that week. I was still coaching at North, and we were actually beating South, and then came back the next day. It was East. We were playing East and came back. So, Northwest right now is 3-0. They've had some success this year. They started off with 53-7 win against West. Then they blanked Southeast with a 73-0 win, and North last week with an astounding 92-0 win. So they have been going strong all year. They have they average 72 points per game. And you know what? That sideline is full of talent. Steve Martin has a program that he's built that's full of talented kids. And one thing, I reached out to Coach Martin this week and asked for some information, and he is always willing to help. He's a great guy. I have a good relationship with him.
He's a good dude.
He told me they have 7 players with D1 offers right now. Their quarterback, Mason Ross, starting linebacker, Yonkman, O-line, Knott, D-lineman, Dower, corner, Colomo, Todrick McGee, who's a strong safety, and then their running back. So they're pretty balanced all over the field right now. So.
Well, and Heights is pretty young. You know, we got the whole backfield is all sophomores and juniors. Starting quarterback for the Falcons is Coach Dingle's son. He's a sophomore, and looks like Heights will be kicking off to Northwest. Kicking with the breeze. Their junior kicker, Caden Clausen, first home game that we had, he was 10 for 10 on extra points. Pretty decent kicker. He was an honorable mention All-State last year kicker as a sophomore, and he is a junior, has a little bit of genes for the kicking position. His dad was a kicker up at K-State many years ago, and Caden Clausen is a pretty good kicker and also plays a little bit of receiver, and he's going to be kicking it off for the Falcons.
And it looks like we have Bolden back to receive the kick. He's one of those 7 that I mentioned. We'll see what Clausen does. See if he's going to kick it to the D1 offer back there deep. So we'll see how they attack
I'm
that
assuming,
returner.
With this wind right here, Clausen should be able to put this in the end zone. We'll see if he can do this or not.
Over the last few weeks, I've seen him put plenty through the end zone.
Nice and high, and it's going to go all the way to the end zone. Just going to let it go.
And I was wrong on the number. Back deep actually was Jeremiah Moore, number 3.
So Starting defense up front for the Falcons. At end, Amarion Wilkins. At tackle, Shamon Webb. At the nose, Uzziah Harris. And at the right end, Jaden Caldwell. At the linebacker, Javon Martin. At Mike, Isaiah Udua, and Jalen Hanks at the linebacker spots.
All right. It looks like Northwest is going to come out in the same offense, kind of the same offensive set that Heights has seen the last 2 weeks, and they hand it to Bolden, who takes it, and he's making his way down the field, almost gets tripped up there, but it looks like no flags are on the field. Bolden's going to go for an 80-yard touchdown run.
Well, nothing special about that play. Just man up on the edge right there for Northwest as they just caved the whole left-hand side of that defensive line from Heights, and he was off to the races, 80 yards on the very first play that they touch. And wow, what a start for the Northwest Grizzlies.
And I wanted to see, let's see, who's back. Is that
25 is kicking.
Is Carson Art. And yeah, I watched a couple of the games in preparation, and this guy is almost automatic. I'm going to knock on some wood here. I don't want to jinx him. But
I jinxed our kicker that 1 week. He was I was talking about he was 10 for 10 the week before, and the next thing you know, he misses the extra point, the first extra point of the game.
Well, it looks like I didn't jinx him, so he kicks it through. Northwest takes an early lead, 15 seconds in, 7-0.
Yeah, those offensive linemen for the Northwest Grizzlies, man, they just did. Do you have starting lineups for Northwest there?
So, starting up front, for Northwest, you have your left tackle. You have James Gilbert. He is a junior. You have at left guard, junior Kayvon Stills. At center, another junior, Diego Gutierrez. At right guard, you finally have a senior, Isaac Engel. And their 6'7", 330-pound D1 commit or offered Caleb Knott over at right tackle.
Now, and he's at right tackle, so they ran left. They ran away from him,
right,
thinking maybe they put trips. Was it trips over here or doubles over here?
It was doubles to us, and then they had the J-set pistol look, and they just put Bolden in that front back on that J-set pistol. I didn't get to catch to see if they had any pulling guards.
I don't think they did. I think they just went manned up and just kind of reach block. So.
Yep. And that's one thing that Northwest has been able to do over the last few years. They have designed their offense. It's simple up front, but it's effective because those offensive linemen only have to know a few things, and they get to do it very well.
Well, they pooch it here, trying to keep it away from John Randall, and Jaden Hamilton has the opportunity, and Jaden Hamilton is going to take it. Gets stopped at about the 50. He had about a 30-yard return right there, picking it up about the 30-yard line.
And Wetu Kolomo with the touchdown-saving tackle. He's another one that he's a starting corner and another one that has big offers coming. So.
Yeah, Jaden Hamilton, a junior right there, 5'7", 155, running back DB. He usually plays a lot of the corner, and he about just broke that. It just was really close. And you'll see this formation pretty much all night for the Falcons. This is their flex offense. They like to run the triple option, and there's part of it right there. They're going to read the defensive end or read the defensive tackle, and they're going to give that ball to R.J. Richard, and he's going to pick up 3 yards there on the very first play.
And Terrence Burt, the senior linebacker, 6'1", 205 with the stop. Northwest is typically in a 3-4 defense, and it looks like they have that. They've just collapsed it to get those spurs, those outside linebackers, in for run support. They're not doing a whole lot. It does also look like their safeties are playing a little shallow. One, because they want to be in there for run support, but they're not all the way down so they don't get burnt.
And there's a 2-yard gain right there for, I'm going to say, that's the for number 5. That's John Randall. So John Randall's going to pick up another 3, bringing up about 3rd and about 3 here.
It looks like Darius Diaz, their leading tackler on the season, just made that stop.
Is he starting linebacker in there?
He is. So let's go over the starting lineup for Northwest. Up front, you have senior Nathan Hale, junior Carter, senior Zach Dar, and something
DJ Dingle just ran midline right up the gut for 40. right there for about 43 yards for DJ Dingle. Sorry we missed that on the camera. We had the tight view instead of the wide angle view. But we got a touchdown right there. That was a perfect read right there. And that's the thing about the flex offense. You just don't know who's going to get it. And DJ Dingle had a perfect read. And Heights, Northwest scored on their first drive, first play. At least Heights scored on their drive just to keep it pretty close right there. We're going to give DJ, I think that was about 42 yards in the touchdown for DJ Dingle. Here's Caden Clausen on to kick the extra point.
Right, and you were exactly right. That's what makes this flex bone offense so deadly, that you have to be in the right spot at the right time in every play, or it could be potential to go to the house each time. And great answer by Heights to an explosive play by Northwest. So Heights answers an explosive play with another explosive play. I know the cheerleaders look like they're down there doing push-ups for points scored.
I hope they get to do some more push-ups. I hope we get to score some more. But Northwest has only given up 7 points on the whole season.
Yes, yeah, and it was on the first game against a decent, a West team it's not bad.
Right.
A West team that's not bad, and I believe it was late in the game.
This is we'll see. Coach Martin is going to adjust. He's a great coach. He was actually here at Heights 2009, 2010, and 2011 when we had as the defensive coordinator when Heights was in 3 state championships. I think he might have been here the 2008, a couple years before that, but those were the prominent years. And then I think he left after Coach Wheeler retired in 2013 and went to Northwest. So there was another touchback right there for Caden Clausen.
Yeah.
And we'll see if we can do a better job with the on defense. I'm going to do the safeties now for the back end for the Heights defense, starting free safety Elijah Mosley, at the weak safety Davion Ware, and the corners Jaden Hamilton and Jaden Okoro.
Okay, we have a doubles up top with kind of a split backfield. We're doing it again. Handoff goes to number 12 for about a gain, so that's number 12, L.J. Phillips, for a gain of about 15 yards. No, yeah. 19 yards.
Yeah, tackle right there was by Elijah Mosley. He's one of their leading tacklers for the Falcons, and Northwest is going to go hurry up.
And they're in the spread, and it looks like they run a little power read option. I believe I saw a guard pull there.
Quarterback run for about 9. Now He's thick, man. I saw him down there before the game, and he's not a little bitty quarterback like you see a lot of guys.
Well, he's listed, so when I talked to Martin, we have Bolden with
there's a stop right there for the Falcons. Good job right there.
With a loss of 2.
That was Jalen Hanks on the tackle.
When I talked to Coach Martin about when I reached out, he told me that he has the offers in the D1 schools, but it could be quarterback or tight end. So that's not a small guy if they think he could play and develop at tight end. So quick pass out to the flats for a gain of about 10 yards to number 3.
Amarion Wilkins. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Amarion Wilkins gets the tackle for the Falcons. Yeah, they're going fast. So we're trying to keep track of stats and stuff like that as best we can. Now they go kind of a double tight end, and they're just going to give it right up the middle.
Looks like a gain of 5. And is that Bolden again?
We're going to give that tackle to Jaden Caldwell, number 44. He kind of latched onto him as he was kind of running by. Jaden Caldwell from his end spot.
Actually, we'll give that a gain of 6 because it looks like it's about 7 and 4. 2nd and 4. Ugh. And Ross just takes it on a quarterback sweep to the right for 2-yard gain.
Good tackle right there for number 52 for the Falcons. I believe that's Dylan Depperschmidt. He's playing a little bit of D-line tonight. Usually he's one of their starting offensive linemen, but they're putting him on the defensive line. They need some pressure up front for those big guys.
It looks like we have a little bit of a wildcat look with Ross down
Did the quarterback go play tight end?
He did go play tight end. Yes, he did. But we had a gain there of about 8.
Amarion Wilkins picking up his second tackle on there.
5 more.
But Northwest is just marching it down the field here with the first down after first down. Not taking a lot of chunks at least. Not scoring in a hurry like they did on the very first play.
Another power read for Ross. He keeps it for another gain of about 16 yards. He's not a small guy.
I missed that tackle there. I was looking at something else.
And that's what makes it a little difficult. These guys are going so fast. Little zone read to Bolden, who breaks a tackle, is running to the end of and he gets a 21-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, that was Isaiah Yadua. Had him stuck in the backfield, and he just made the move and got right around him. And Northwest scores another. I mean, at least it wasn't on the very first play, but they did march down in about 5 or 6 plays and score.
See, while I have a little stoppage and they're not running that, I'm going to go ahead and give love to the backfield. The starters we have listed, Mason Ross, we've talked about. Jeremiah Moore, we've talked about at basically the number 2 receiver out there. Your number 1 receiver is Caleb Coleman, who's a senior. Like I said, Moore is a junior. Camden Aldrich is a senior. And those are the 3 receivers they typically play with. Julius Bolden is a senior. He has 2 touchdowns already on the game. And
he's got both their touchdowns already?
He does.
Yeah.
Jaden Wheeler is a senior, and he's their H-back, fullback type. And their tight end is listed at number 79, Thomas Robinson, who's a 200-pound senior.
But it was interesting, though. You know, like Coach Martin right there, he put his quarterback, if they're thinking maybe quarterback tight end, he actually gave him a shot to put it on film for those college recruiters to see that. You know, so
right.
I commend, you know, that's pretty good. It's pretty smart on his idea, on his part of letting them do that. It looks like Northwest is probably going to try to do the pooch kick again. Last time they pooched it to Jaden Hamilton at about the 30. I think they're just not trying to give John Randall, who was a first-team all-selection returner last year as a freshman, and he is deep for the Falcons, but I think Northwest is going to try to keep that away from him. We'll see. Actually, he's kind of taken a few steps back.
So it looks like Arndt is
going
to
pooch.
And a little bit of a collision there. And number 63 gets the best piece of him but can't get him down. Just throw him out of bounds. And number 63 is Quentin Clark, a junior DB.
Yeah, it might have been a little miscommunication. Adrian Patterson is the one who caught that return, but John Randall was like right there, almost tackled him, as maybe he didn't see him or they didn't communicate about who was getting that return, that pooch kick right there. So Heights is going to take over about the 23-yard line, heading to the north. We'll see if they can see what they do, see if there's any adjustments here for the Northwest. Looks like they're kind of staying the same way. And there's the read right there that just made the stop, but I don't know if we had a false start or somebody lined up in the neutral zone.
We'll take a look. Let's see what the White House has to say.
Okay, we'll say
Encroachment.
offsides are lined up in the neutral zone, one of the two. I didn't see anybody jump, so maybe just lined up, you think?
I think he probably just lined up in.
So brings up 1st and 5 for the Falcons. And again, they're in their flex spot. Starting quarterback for the Falcons, number 2, DJ Dingle. They're going in motion is John Randall. And they're going to give it to R.J. Richard right up the gut on veer or midline. Sometimes it's hard to read which one is the difference between those two. And but that's kind of a fullback dive play. Quarterback's reading defensive end or defensive lineman, one of the two. And R.J. is going to pick up about another, we're going to say 5 on that play.
And that was a gang tackle by Todrick McGee, a DB, and a Nathan Hale. So, and both of
Are they going to give a first down? I mean, it's really close. I'm surprised they're not going to measure this.
Yeah.
Referee's coming in, maybe going to talk to the White Hat and see what they're going to do.
Well, it looks like they're going to let it go. I'm not sure.
They're going to say.
Again, while I have some stoppage.
Yeah, go.
We're going to do, so in the Sam, you have Jacob Yonkman, who's a 5'11 senior. Free safety, Josiah Hill, 6'3 senior. Todrick McGee, who just helped with that tackle, at a 190 senior, 6 foot. The joker position is the backside linebacker on a 4-4-2, which is Toltree. J-Ron Toltree is a senior.
They try to do the little counter play there to Adrian Patterson. He goes, I think, maybe lost a couple yards. His first carry is going to be actually a loss of about 3. They actually did give Heights the first down on that last play.
Yeah. And Jaden Wheeler knew I was about to say his name on the lineup because he went ahead and made that tackle.
He got the tackle.
Jaden Wheeler, 215 senior. Their leading tackler is Darius Diaz. He's a junior. And then their two corners are Zaire Atkins and Wetu Kolomo.
Let's see the white hat here. They're going to say false start there on the offense. Yeah. So starting quarterback for the Falcons is DJ Dingle, and the fullback position right behind him is junior R.J. Richard. At the left slot back is John Randall, and then at the right slot back is number 1 Adrian Patterson. That's the backfield. We'll get the starting lineup for the offensive line here in just a moment. We do have Caden Clausen out there, one of the receivers, and the other receiver on the other side will be Chase Harris. And they're going to run a little play-action pass here, going up over the top, just a little bit overthrown, intended for Adrian Patterson. And Heights took a shot there on first and long. They had lost a couple.
Second and long.
Second long, so now it's going to be third down. So starting offensive lineman up front at left tackle, George Hervey. Left guard, Aaron Meir. At center, Malachi Pancrax Dixon. At right guard, Hayden Powell. And at right tackle, Dylan Depperschmidt.
Oh, yeah, got to give love to the big boys. I'll tell you what. I was waiting to see when they were going to throw it. They have the wind at their back, and
it's just, now they're going to go trips here to the one side. They'll probably roll out. That's kind of what they've liked to do is try to get on the edge and try to run that out right there. And Caden Clausen's going to pick up a good chunk of change there, about 10-yard, 12-yard gain for Caden Clausen on that one.
Well, and good open field tackle by Zaire Atkins to stop them short. I always like
it's going to be 4th and 5. So
I always like the little rollout that they do there. They put different receivers at different levels to try to see where they can put a defensive back in conflict. And was it Clausen that made the catch?
Yeah.
Clausen got a good step on Atkins. Atkins did the job of getting him down in the open field.
Yeah, so that they picked up 12. The thing that hurt him was the false start there, and now the ball snapped. Caden Clausen's going to have to try to run around. Can he kick it? He
does get it kicked.
Does get it kicked away, but got his helmet ripped off or fell off. He's going to have to. Of course he's coming out of the game, but it was kind of athletic of him to even get that ball off. It was an awful snap. Bounced to him a couple different times before he got it, and he had pressure and tried to run around. There's a good shot of Caden Clausen putting his helmet on finally all the way to the other side.
Well, this is not what Heights wanted. You're going to give Northwest a very short field, and they've had a lot of short fields over this season because their defense has been able to be pretty stout. So we have another power read, but this time we have number 3 in the backfield running it.
Yeah, he was playing quarterback. They had their starting quarterback at the tight end spot.
And that was Moore with a 30-yard touchdown run.
That's one thing that you cannot do with these Northwest Grizzlies is turn the ball over and give them a short field because they have that capability right there of scoring almost every play of the game with all the athletes that they've got. So
Well, and now you've seen 2 running backs score for them. You've seen 2 running backs score for them. You see their quarterback can play quarterback effectively and then jump down in the same vein, in the same drive, and be effective at the tight end position blocking.
Yeah.
They're just so multiple. And Art kicks it through, and we have a 21-7 game with 4:41 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, still in the first quarter. There's been, 4 touchdowns scored, and it's just been back and forth, quick scoring. So the time is not flying off of there. And we appreciate everybody here working tonight. We always like to tell Dalton is running one of our camera. Braden is on another camera. We actually have a Northwest guy here tonight, Mr. Monroe. Thanks for Mr. Monroe he usually does their live stream, and I asked to see if he would like to help out and see what we do. And he's actually running the scoreboard overlay down there. So we thank Mr. Monroe for coming out and helping us out. And then we got Caleb back here behind me, and he's kind of switching between the 2 views, talking to the camera guys about what he wants to see. He's trying to listen to us and trying to get the best possible shot for you. And so if we miss something, it's kind of all our faults. We'll do the best that we can, and we appreciate everybody watching. How we doing on the chat there, Caleb? 183 viewers. If you guys do have questions, there is a live chat that you can submit a question to us, and we will do the best to answer that. If we don't know, well, we'll do the best we can.
Yeah. It may not be the answer you want, but we'll get you an answer. So, and Art does another pooch kid over, and Northwest coverage does a really good job. Number 9 with the tackle.
And number 9, Jaden Hamilton with the return.
Oh, I guess there was no number 9. Maybe I was looking at the Heights player. All right, so Northwest comes back out, and a little bit about Northwest defense. They typically run a 4-3. They typically run a 4-3, but against this stacked, close offense, you see their linebackers, their outside linebackers, their spurs are going to come real close in and be off the outside shoulder of that wing.
Like number 24 and 30 right there. That's the spurs that you're talking about. Now they go to almost like a 6-man front, and they're just going to run a little bit of quarterback follow in there, and they have everybody going through the hole, and DJ Dingle's going to pick up about 2 on that run.
And I'm going to go ahead and give the tackle to Zach Darr, the senior, the 6'4" senior. Sorry, 6'4", 6'1". Big difference. But, of course, if there's any question about who gets the tackle, I'm going to go ahead and say it's a big boy.
There you go. Well, there's the look. There's the 3-man front, nice tight view. And there's going to go toss to the outside. John Randall going to lose a couple of yards right there.
And in the backfield is number 30. Yonkman, who is one of those outside linebackers. He's a 205 senior, just flying around.
Well, Heights, they like to go to the outside. They like to run toss. They like to run right up the middle. With that offense, they haven't done a lot of triple option of pitching the ball with a young quarterback. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to do. But they do like to. He does like to roll out. That's a great little throw right there, and I think he might have the first down.
It looks like he does a good little rollout, throwing across his body. Isn't he right-handed?
Yeah, he's right-handed. That was a catch there by John Randall, picking up about 12 yards. He lost those 2 on that carry, but he got him right back.
It looks like he was tackled by Tollfree. Again, that's a tough.
He kind of had that. He threw that like sidearm right there. It was a pretty good play. Going to try to give it back to Randall on the inside. He's going to pick up about 1 or 2.
Yeah, and he is taken down by a bunch of Grizzlies. I'm going to go ahead and say that number 6, their leading tackler on the season. Oh no, Diaz is their leading tackler is Diaz, number 4. So I think they both got there, but Jaden Wheeler was also in on the play. That's the thing when you have these big boys up front eating blocks. Your middle linebackers can run free.
There's a little bit of triple option and pitch it to the outside. Just Heights Northwest read that very good and got to the pitch as quickly as they did. And I think they're going to probably end up losing a couple more yards on that play, bringing up about 3rd and 11.
Yeah, that tackle was made by Nathan Hale, who's a D linebacker type. Yeah, no, he's a D lineman. So what he did really well there was squeeze that block, go down the line, and have good a pursuit angle on that pitch. So it looks like the Heights is getting there. Heights is going to get their play in from the sideline. We talked a little bit about this last week. Not very many teams huddle anymore, even the traditional run-first teams.
The run team there. Actually, Coach Jared he comes into my classroom each week and prints off all his stuff because I got a color printer. So he just prints off a few of the things for the armbands, just a couple sheets, and then he has the same thing printed up on all of them. Then he sits there and he's cutting things out. Then he laminates all of them and then he slides them into the wristband, and he's got a call sheet that kind of matches that, and so he can. All right, I want to run play blue 5, and then everybody's blue 5 is the same, but each week he changes up the colors. The colors and the numbers mean nothing to what the actual play is. Blue number 5 is an actual play that everybody understands. Right. So he can call out blue 5. He can call out red 2. He can call out green 25. That actually means nothing to the play. It's just a color-coded
how to read the wristband.
How to read the wristband. They go to green column. They go to, and they find the green column and they find row number 25 and match it up, and that's what it is.
Yep.
So that's kind of how that works, and I thought it was pretty good system. You just have to make sure, and we did this a couple years ago when I was coaching as well. You just have to make sure that your call sheet is the same as the wristbands.
Right.
I've got a story about that. Let me come back to that here in just a second after we see what happens on this play. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 10, and looks like they're going to do maybe some trips to this side.
Well, you have Clausen coming across the field.
Looks like they're just going to. So there's the looks like just normal flex here with 3rd and 10. Safeties are back, probably not going to be coming up.
No,
and they are going to do a little play action pass, and they're just going to throw the fullback right out, or the R right out to the edge, and he's going to pick up the first down.
And number 4, which is Diaz from the middle linebacker spot, chases him down. It looks like Northwest is playing a pretty tight man on Heights. They don't want to drop too much and commit too much back into zone. But if you look at those corners look like they are pressing, and the guy out of the backfield, it's tough on a linebacker to cover a guy.
Yeah, that was
like that.
Catching that thing right there. I believe was number 7, Jaden Okoro.
Oh, and it looks like Diaz made another play, made the ball pop out, but Heights got back on it.
Yeah, so that's R.J. Richard there that got that one, and he's gonna basically he didn't pick up any yardage. Yeah, they're going to say no yards gain on that one, so he's going to be 2nd and 10 on this one. And
looks like we have trips to the field, and Northwest looks like they are still playing tight.
And they're actually going to give forward momentum to gain about 1 yard there for RJ.
Wheeler met him right there, drove him backwards, and finished it a little further away. So third and 8, 3rd and 9.
3rd and 8 here. Probably the last play of the quarter.
And again, Northwest is
and
not
going to go in motion. Are they going to maybe try to soak up this time? They could actually let the quarter run out and not worry about it. The play clock was 1 second behind. And that is going to be the end of the first quarter. Northwest 21, Heights 7. We've got a quick performance from the Pommies in the north end zone. And there we go for the Heights Pommies, a little quarter performance. They'll also come back and perform there at the half as well.
We have some downtime. What about wristbands?
Okay, so wristbands. So here's a great story about the wristbands. I'm offensive coordinator 2010, 11, something like that. Matt Reed's my quarterback out there, and I'm calling. We're playing Washburn Royal in the first game of the playoffs. And they come here to our place first round, and we're playing, and we don't do very good the first drive, and we get stuck down on the 10-yard line coming out, and we'll see here. They got trips going here, 3rd and 10. Little rollout, trying to throw that backside. Those to the back shoulder, good. Picking up John Randall for about 1 yard, though.
And McGee,
just not going to be enough.
It looks like McGee and Colomo had it clamped. He wasn't going anywhere.
So anyway, going back to that story, so Coach Wheeler says, it's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20 on our own 10-yard line. And Coach Wheeler's like, let's just run he calls it a fullback dive play. I said, all right, that's yellow 21. So he yells out yellow 21. Everybody looks at their wristband, and yellow 21 is actually halfback pass reverse.
Oh,
and we run it. And Coach Wheeler's like, what is going on? And next thing you know, we get a gain of about 60. So he forgave me, but he was a little angry at me at the very beginning.
Well, it's one of those oh no,
yes.
Okay moments.
Exactly.
While you coach. Yeah, you get some of those sometimes. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened on that. And he, I forgot all about that story until we were talking about the wristbands. But Man, after the game, he just came and says, what happened on that one play? I said, well, Coach, I think we just had it wrong on the call sheet. My call sheet said this, but on the wristbands it was something different. And so going back to having your call sheets and your wristbands to make sure that they're identical, that's the hard thing about it.
All right, we have a little offset pistol back, and it looks like just a downhill run play, and he gets swallowed in the backfield.
Jaden Caldwell defeats the block right there. That's a great job by Jaden Caldwell from his right end spot. He picks up his second tackle.
So I had another wristband system, so I coached in the single wing the last few
false
years.
Start.
False start up front by our right guard. And we had wristbands, and so that system was pretty similar, except we didn't have the as many plays, I guess.
Right, okay.
It was all downhill, all simple up front. So we'd do the same thing. I'd signal in a number, and they would look. But I know it's a big production to get those things ready.
It's something that you have to spend a lot of time on. That I know that they practice during the week, and you try to change it each week. There's just a wheel play, just wide open there, just a misread.
Out to number 12.
Tackled there by number 8.
L.J. Phillips for a gain of, looks like about 25.
Tackled there by Davion Ware, picking up his first tackle. Yeah, there was just a simple twins look, and one of them ran the post and one of them ran the wheel, and we just didn't pick up the wheel at all.
Yeah, Bolden comes downhill, and it looks like they're going to give him about half a yard maybe. No, back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, tackled there by middle linebacker Javon Martin, picking up his first tackle of the night.
What they did on the big pass play, they run that post to clear out underneath, so that quarterback is reading, okay, so what's that person going to do? Is he going to jump the wheel, or is he going to go with the post player? And it looks like we have a quick key screen out to the right to number 3 Moore, and he gains about 8 yards.
Tackle there by number 4 Jalen Hanks, picking up his second tackle of the night. Going to bring about 3rd and 3 here. Yeah, they're just throwing it out there quickly and trying to let those receivers block. And the Heights defense has got to make stops and tackles.
Well, we have a little bit of an offset with a sweep to number 12.
And he's not gonna get there. I think he was out of bounds.
Is he gonna go out? Oh, they're gonna give him a touchdown for a 40.
Okay, they're gonna say that he got in. I thought maybe he might have stepped out, but he dove for about 5 yards there at the very end.
Is that a 44-yard touchdown run?
Yeah. So quick strike there by the Grizzlies again.
Again, they had a little bit of an offset gun where your tailback is behind you a little bit, and you have that main running back to the left, which was number 12, Phillips, and he just comes underneath. I didn't see a puller. I think it was outside zone up front.
Just man-to-man blocking and just trying to get the edge.
Yep, take a big step outside and try to get your head on the outside and cut off block and run up the field, and that's what it was. I didn't see a puller.
And that is a 28-7 lead for the Grizzlies here with 9:05 left to go in the second. Heights, we've thrown it a little bit more than we've ever thrown it. I mean, we've thrown it 4 times here. We've actually got 4 completions. I don't even know if we have. I think we have 1 incompletion that DJ has, but throwing the ball pretty decent. We just can't get anything going very much. We get a few drives moving, and the next thing you know, Heights or the Northwest defense kind of stops us.
Well, and the Northwest defense is stout. Like I said at the beginning, you said it as well, there's a lot of talent on that field when that defense is going.
And they also have their offensive lineman, the Knott kid. What's his name? His name is Mason. No, what is it? Caleb Knott.
Yep.
So I went to school. I'm actually a Northwest grad, and I actually went to school with his dad and his uncle. His uncle was my age, and then his dad was a couple years younger. It was actually my wife's age, and I believe they lived out in Colorado. But then when they canceled sports. When they canceled sports in Colorado, he moved in with Grandma and Grandpa that actually live in Northwest District.
There we go.
So that's how he got here to Northwest his senior year.
All right, and Art decided he's going to give it back to Randall and see what happens.
Pretty good return. About a 12-yard gain for Randall.
And the coverage team was there. I mean, he shook a few of them. but swarming Grizzly special teams.
Yeah, you can see Randall. I mean, Randall's listed. He's listed at about 6 foot. Let's see. He's listed at 6 foot 175. You know, he's got the athletic ability. If he can put on another 15, 20 pounds of muscle, he's got a really great opportunity to excel at the next level. He's just a sophomore. You know, he as a freshman in Wichita Public Schools, you can't be in the weight room during the school year.
Right.
And then all last spring, they usually have some weight classes that they do after school and stuff like that. Here's John Randall in the eye, trying to pick up a few yards, going to be a no gain. Yep. So he has not had a lot of opportunity of being in the weight room. And then this summer, they tried to go weights, but of course COVID and stuff canceled all that. And they were out here on the football field just trying to do some, lifting. They would bring the barbells out, I know. They brought some of the things out, but they were trying to lift on the football field. It was difficult for guys to maintain that strength, to gain that strength when they don't have the ability to be in the weight room on a constant basis.
Right, and I mean that's where you win games. You win games in the weight room. One of the big stories I know from Northwest is the importance of their weight room and getting the kids in, and you could see the difference when they come in to. They're playing juniors and seniors right now who's been in the weight room 2 and 3 years solidly with Coach Martin who knows his stuff, obviously.
Yeah. Well, that was a 2-yard gain, 3-yard gain there by R.J. Richard. It looks like they just ran a little bit of a fullback dive, quarterback read play, and gave it to R.J. And we got actually like double tight. They got one tight end, and they're just going to run some belly left over there to the left side, trying to maybe overload them one side with the tight end. Not going to work. It's going to be 4th and about 6 or about 7 yards. It looks like Heights is going to have to punt into this wind.
It looked like Dower defeated a one-on-one block and was able to get that. Either that or they tried to read him, and he just knew the scheme well enough that he could defeat.
Yeah, with this offense, there's always going to be a double team somewhere, and they're always going to try to read most of the time. Sometimes on a play like that, that's just a man up blocking, and sometimes it's not great for when you have small linemen. That's why you run the flex. They're going to have a good kick and a catch and no return.
Back deep is McGee, who gets swallowed up.
That was Elijah Mosley with the pink socks there. He had a pretty good coverage on that one.
Well, McGee got swallowed up right away, and then he got some guff from some of his teammates saying, "Why didn't you break a tackle and go score? Come on."
Well, he caught that. I mean, that was a great catch.
Yeah.
The ball was like, he caught it like he was an outfielder, over his shoulder right there. So that was a great catch by him to even make that catch. And then we had a Heights defender, Elijah Mosley, was right there to make the stop.
Okay, so 36-yard line, 1st and 10. It looks like we have a quick pitch out to Bolden.
He's going to make Mosley miss.
For a gain of 10.
And we're going to say Amarian Wilkins on the bottom of that tackle right there. Amarian Wilkins picking up his 3rd tackle of the night. And Northwest right it back at it. They're trying to get the chain set over there as quickly as they can before they snap it again, and they're just going to go outside zone.
So again, outside zone with Bolden for another gain of about 7 yards.
And tackle there by Jalen Hanks from his safety spot. He's got his 3rd tackle on the night.
Yeah, and they're I don't know if they're slowing down a little more. They're going to be a little more multiple with what they're running. They haven't been up tempo as much. You're getting into the point of the game where you're away from some of those scripted calls, and you've started to read what the defense is doing, and you start to get into a flow. So Bolden gets a quick pitch, and
is off to the races. Gonna have the stiff arm. Can he get in?
And he gets.
I think he got in there, unless they call.
He got in with a
face mask. It looked like, didn't it?
47-yard touchdown run by Bolden, and
Jaden Hamilton was there trying to make the stop.
There was.
I thought I saw a flag thrown or picked up or something.
Well, did they signal a touchdown?
Yeah,
okay.
I believe
I thought they
signaled,
did.
Yeah.
Okay. So aren't in for another attempt at an extra point. I think they might have had a face mask on near the end of that play.
Yeah, I think that was Jaden Hamilton that was coming up trying to make that stop, and might just have grabbed his face mask, but he was already in the end zone. It was a pretty good stiff arm. He did a great job of switching the ball from his right to the left so he could have that right arm as the stiff arm there to try to block the defender.
Well, and that's something that comes from experience. He put the ball in the right hand. A lot of times when younger running backs don't do it and you go against a good defense, they start ripping at that ball because it's right there.
Yep.
And that's when you see big plays turn into uh-oh moments where you have a fumble after a big play. So,
well, it's just been, we had Northwest scored on the very opening play. If you've just kind of joined us, Northwest scored on the opening play of their possession, 80 yards, and then Heights just had about 5 or 6 plays and scored and tied it up 7-all, and from then on it's been nothing but Northwest, and Heights has not been able to stop them, and Northwest has been able to stop us. So another touchdown, another kickoff here for the Grizzlies.
Let's see what Heights has in store on offense to try to stop the bleeding here a little bit. Carson Art taking the kick, and he is going to kick it into the end zone about the middle of the H.
And they've been doing that pooch kick, and he just decided he's the guy, Coach, I can kick it in the end zone now that I've got the wind.
Yeah.
Against the wind, he was doing those little pooch kicks, but that's going to give Heights the ball at about the 20. And the scary thing about being down 35-7 is like you want to try to score, and you want to try to do it in a hurry, but most of the time when you do that, you got to throw the ball, and Heights doesn't throw the ball very well. Or you've got to try to trick Northwest defense on where you're going with the ball, and they're just so good defensively. It's
Yes.
hard to score quickly, and what we're trying to score points.
Well, in the mortal words of Scott Mosier, and I know he got it from somebody else. Oh, there's a screen.
There's a little screen to R.J. Richard. There's R.J. Richard trying to get it down.
And a touchdown-saving tackle by number 28. Number 28, Josiah Hill. And I was going to say, when you throw the ball, there are 3 things that can happen, and 2 of them are bad. Well, that's the good one.
Well, that's a great call right there by Coach Jared Att, offensive coordinator. I mean, I thought he was going to drop back. I wasn't even thinking screen, and next thing you know, screen on first down. That's a great call to give them a little bit of momentum and see if they can get going here. Going to try to run the counter, and Northwest just sniffs it out.
And number 90, who's been in all over, is Zach Dyer. He breaks through and sniffs out that counter before it gets started.
Yeah, that was to John Randall. They really like to run the counter to Randall there at the L spot, and loss of 5 on that play. Just too much penetration. Penetration kills counter.
Yes, it does.
When those offensive linemen pull, and if you're a good defensive lineman, you're taught to follow those pulling linemen, and that's exactly what Northwest did and just stuffed us cold. They're going to try to roll out here, try to get the ball to RJ.
Well, it looks like we had pressure. We had pressure by number 30, Yonkman.
Did we catch that? I think we caught it, and we're going to actually end up losing a yard there. To R.J. Richard. We tried to roll it out, and then Dingle was getting some pressure. And
that's why the screen worked, because they're getting so much penetration. They invited those Northwest. That's why the screen worked earlier, because they've invited the Northwest defensive linemen to come up the field, because they basically have their ears pinned back to try to get penetration. And
got to go over the –
and it looks like we have a catch down at the 16-yard line.
Catch right there by Adrian Patterson. Nice throw there by DJ. About a 15-yard gain, 20-yard gain for another pass completion for Dingle to another receiver. I mean, Heights has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different receivers.
Have you ever seen that?
No, not since we had Cameron Castle at quarterback and we were throwing the ball all over the place to Vince Santucci and Daly Gunner and stuff like that. We've had 5 runners. Now here's DJ running the midline, and he pulls it and keeps it for a few yards. But, yeah, that was a 20-yard pass right there and a great catch there by Adrian Patterson. But, yeah, I've got 5 different receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 completions for DJ. Close to 100 yards. Yeah, that screen was 50.
Right.
So he's close to, I think he's probably got 100. There's maybe a little bit of veer there to R.J. Richard.
Your
It's on the left-hand side, picking up about 3.
Looks like number 24 makes the tackle. Burt, linebacker, senior.
3rd and 5, 2:29 left to go here in the first half. So we'll see if Heights can try to score, at least try to. They're doing a great job right now stopping the bleeding, keeping Northwest offense on there. And so, that's another thing is you want to try to stay on here as much as you can. Don't give the ball back to Northwest because they've just been scoring in less than 4 or 5 plays.
Oh, yeah. It's trying to keep this powerful offense off the field.
And just penetration on that side.
57 Hale with the
Are we gonna go for it? Kick a field goal? It's 4th. It's definitely field goal range, but do you kick it when you're down 35-7?
And that just depends on what you're going to do. Honestly, I wouldn't, because you've been able to have some big chunk plays, and it just depends on what you want to do.
I don't know if he could run a counter boot here, maybe. I thought it was open on the last play, but he's just going to run some midline veer, try to get it to pitch to the outside. Gonna get close, and they're going to get the first down.
That was a good play, and tackled by Jaden Wheeler.
Yeah, that was DJ Dingle ran the veer to the left side, pulled it, and got to the edge and pitched it. And Adrian Patterson made a great play, great run, a couple moves to pick up. I thought he was going to be short, and he was able to get that yardage for the first down. Let's see what they're going to do here on first down. They're going to try to roll it out, and he's got to be careful
by Diaz,
of throwing that.
Going the other way. And it looks like, if it all stands, it's going to be a 95-yard interception return for a touchdown from their leading tackler, Darius Diaz.
Well,
I don't know if he's excited or if he's cramping, but he made
a
good
shot.
Of a play.
There's a good shot of him right there as he made that play, 95 yards. It's just a bad decision by the quarterback of rolling out. He was definitely under some pressure. Sometimes you just got to live to play the next down instead of trying to throw it away, and it just happened to go in the arms of a defender who was wide open, and it was 95 yards.
Yes.
What was that call there?
I think I'm not totally for sure, but I know it's against Northwest.
Was it celebration or something like that? Maybe they said it was going to be assessed on the kickoff. I'm not sure exactly. We'll find out on the kickoff where they line up on that one. But that making this extra point right now could possibly put it 42-7.
And again, Art has been nothing but perfect on the season.
Yeah, he's got a good approach to the ball and kicking it well there. So 49 seconds left here in the first half, and we thought Heights was going to have an opportunity to break the ice a little bit of stopping the run, and we just go the other way. Northwest scoring again, 42-7 now with 49 seconds remaining. What a killer play there for the Falcons.
It just shows you how just the littlest mistake can make all the difference in the world. They had a good drive. That's one thing they can build on, is they have seen they can move the ball on Northwest.
Yeah. They
just have to take care of the little things at the end. But great return, great awareness by Diaz to be able to snag that ball and go the other direction. That return was just about as long as his hair. So
yeah, he's had the hair hanging out. Look, we're going to see exactly where they're going to go. I think they're going to move it. Are they moving it forward or moving it backwards? It looks like they're going to move it back. So had to have been a penalty on Northwest. So an unsportsmanlike, probably an unsportsmanlike celebration penalty or something like that. So it's just a 5-yard penalty. He can probably still put it in the end zone.
I wonder if it was a sideline warning.
What year is he, the kicker?
Art?
Yes. Do you know?
He's a senior.
A senior. Okay.
Yeah, that was one thing that I was gonna point out is we have a heck of a kicking battle tonight.
Yeah.
Art versus Clausen. Both of them, the last few years have been in talks because I've sat in the City League selection meetings the last few years, and them, and then you had a kicker from Carroll who graduated last year.
Oh, they better go out of bounds. That was a heck of a play right there. I mean, a perfect kick right over in front of the deep guy, right behind the second row, but that's going to be a kick out of bounds, and Heights will probably just take the ball on the 35-yard line. I don't think they'll let him kick over because he can probably still put it in the end zone if he scoot him back another 5 yards.
Right, and that's one thing I've seen in the last few games with Northwest and with Arndt. He's actually able to place that ball to where his coverage team can come down. I remember I watched the North High game, and he was able to make it so the North High returners would catch it at like the 5. And we've seen that today already with Randall.
Yep.
So if they catch at the 5, it's up in the air long enough, their coverage team is down. You put the returning team in quite a pickle.
I thought if the ball went out of bounds, they got it to 35.
It's 35, and then it's a 5-yard penalty. That's a new one of the new rules this year.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That is a new one. So got to be careful here. Probably just try to run this clock out and not try to make it any worse than it already is for the Falcons. That's a little bit of a quarterback run, and DJ Dingle took a pretty good hard hit. He gets up smiling, goes back to the huddle for no gain there for DJ.
He's swallowed up by Northwest defenders, starting with again number 57 Hale. I mean their DNs are all over the place today.
Got to snap it one more time. There's play clock is at 15, the game clock's at about 18, so we're a little bit behind, and they just have miscommunication there.
And that's a backwards
pass.
And who is going to come up with it? It looks like it's in Northwest's hand. We'll see what the official says. What is the signal?
Did he give a signal?
It looks like they're going to give it to Heights.
I don't.
So
no,
they're going to go ahead and call the half.
So is it Northwest ball? I mean, they never pointed a direction, and I thought it was definitely recovered there by Northwest.
Well, and they're having a discussion right now because I believe the scoreboard never stopped.
Oh.
So the scoreboard reads 00.
Right. Well, because they never signaled anything. If he would have just blown the ball dead, and then we would have probably stopped it. So we'll. I don't know. They're still somewhat.
They're still deliberating what went on.
Yeah.
It looks like both teams are going to go get ready for halftime. So I believe what they're saying is Heights recovered the fumble.
Okay, they're not even gonna. Yeah, so they're
Heights
still
recovered the fumble.
Yep.
Half ran out.
Okay, so we've got Palmy Performance there at the 50-yard line here. We'll go to them right now.
At this time, Wichita Heights Palmy is performing a routine called Ring on Me, choreographed by Captain Christian. Walk Out will be our performance this evening. Choreographed by Captain Morgan Rodriguez. Enjoy the show.
All right, there was the Heights Pommies and with their performance. And now we're going to do a couple highlights of our soccer team. We've got some highlights from the North game. This was September 26th with a 4-0 win. And we'll get that going here and switch it up right now.
Down to Texas, you think Texas football.
No, you're
Lerman,
fine.
He's down there in Texas, took a job and teaching math down there. Here's an opportunity.
Score for the Falcons. Number 3, Adrian Gallo, scores it with about 29:32 in the first half.
That is great. Adrian Gallo found an opening, and then he put it right in there. That's great. That's great work, Adrian.
So we'll update that. Church, you want to put that on the chat, say score at 29:32. Heights is trying to play it quick.
It's like being in a wrestling room right now. Just a hot, stinky place.
Yes. Well, it'll be about 90 degrees today is what they forecast. And
Yes.
it's still fall, so.
Yes.
Well, still fall. I guess it just started fall. Here's a long pass into
Oh,
Jensen.
and the header to Jensen.
And with the goal,
Oh.
Ethan Jensen, what a header.
Wow.
I just got that in the screen as he scored.
Wow. Great header. Great ball to Ethan Jensen. That will definitely be a highlight you see in the future from Wichita Heights in years. And
Well, the other one was it a Hellas as
it was
well?
also a Hellas.
Hellas, and it lasted at least, I think it was 11 years
Yeah,
or
it was
10
11
years.
or 12 years. It was more than 10.
Oh, what a shot by Monty.
Monty takes off while we're talking.
Man, I think the ball was flying through the air as through the scoreboard that you see right there. But, man, what a shot there by Monty from way outside. Heights takes a commanding 3-0 lead.
So even though Charlie's coaching at Heights, he still loves North High like the days he went there.
Oh, what a great goal there from Monty, left foot on the outside.
Wow.
Ooh, Monty with a good drive up the left side, and he scores it there with his left foot into the side of the net. Nice shot there for Monty. Take a 4-0 lead now for the Falcons.
11:46 somewhere around remaining.
All right, and that was the highlights for the North game, 4-0 win for the Heights soccer team. And then just last night we had another game against Wichita Southeast, and we had a 2-0 win there, and we've got a few highlights on that one, and we'll show that right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Heights High School for today's varsity matchup between the Wichita Heights Falcons and the visiting Southeast Buffaloes. With me today, I have Esteban Padilla. What's going on, Esteban?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much.
Got some names here that we're not used to. There's a way outside
Oh,
shot.
no.
And the keeper, Matala, almost lost it. I couldn't tell who shot that for Heights.
We got Southeast back with possession of the ball. It's probably the longest they've had it.
Yeah, Heights has really done a great job of
Keeping that possession.
keeping the. Oh, here's a good pass right
There's
here.
opportunity there.
Opportunity. Oh, that was Richetti had a pretty good opportunity, and Heights keeper made a pretty decent save.
Good cross there for Heights. Here's
Faisal,
Faisal.
little tip over there. Oh, great job by the keeper coming out.
That's
he's
hands. That's
outside.
hands, yeah.
Yeah, he's outside the box.
Right. But see, that's a little less than 10 yards.
Yes.
So,
They're good.
but here's a good shot right here.
Right off the back of the defense.
And here's
Out wide,
another
another one.
opportunity, another shot.
Ooh, good save
Great.
there from the goalie.
Great kicking it out there from the goalie, Matala. And
Good
going to
save.
be a corner kick. Just trade back now. Is there I know this is a little early to talk about, but is there any overtime in a regular season game?
I don't think in regular season there's overtime.
No PKs or anything like that.
Not at the end of the game.
See, I think that let's just go to PKs and make it interesting. That'd be fun to watch.
PKs,
oh, here's a shot!
And a goal there for what number is he?
The goalkeeper Montala couldn't handle it, and I believe that was Alamiki.
Yeah, that is Alamiki.
Monty with
yep.
the rebound shot with the left foot, wide open goal.
Gonna win it back there for us. See if he can redeem himself.
Yeah. Sayam's got to come back and try to redeem himself. Here's Monty.
Out there.
Get it out to the side or look for that shot. Oh, good job by
Faisal.
Faisal.
Right where you
nice
want him.
shot
Faisal
with the lefter.
right where you want him. Beautiful goal there.
Good work from Monty Alamiki to Faisal. I'll download this game from YouTube and get it to my editors and my student editors, and that's how we've been doing a lot of classes. That's how you got the highlight there from at halftime. I'm able to download these YouTube games and then get them to my students, and they're the ones that are doing the editing. And we made Senior Monty.
Oh, Monty just a little bit too high there. Almost had a second one for himself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a NFHS website that you have to go to take a sportsmanship test just to make sure that you know that you did wrong. Try to teach you the right thing. It's a good thing there by the NFHS, National Federation of High School. They've got a great website that they have all kinds of classes that you can take for coaches and all different kinds of things. There's a good long run. Just got to be careful.
Chip it there on us.
And just a perfect cross and goal.
Was that? I can't tell if it was 7 or 10 because.
Well, I'm trying to see who that was. Number 7.
Number 7.
Mark Gonzalez. Mark Gonzalez scores at 6:32. Yeah, and that is the final. Heights 2.
Definitely. Both
Southeast
teams.
1. All the goals scored there in the second half. Ladies and All right, well, welcome back to the second half. Got a little some action for you to watch and pay attention to down there. Some of the ball boys, I think those are pretty much the coach's sons down there, and the AD son is running around there too. So, well, Mitch, what did you think, man? 42-7. I mean, Heights Northwest scored in the opening play. Heights came right back and drove it down, 7-7 ball game. And the next thing you know, man, it's 42-7 halftime.
Right.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and it's what it is. That's classic. Northwest has had a scoring explosion over the last few weeks, and they came out of nowhere last week. Well, not nowhere, but they averaged 72 points a game. Last week they scored 92. As far as for Heights, it's a little bit like the getting in quicksand. You try too hard and you sink a little lower.
Yeah.
And Northwest is just keeping on what they do best, just pounding away at doing their system.
You know, and Heights had a couple opportunities to maybe do some things, and then they just had that the interception return for 95 yards for a touchdown going the other way. Northwest has scored on a couple plays just the first time they get it, and then they've had really small drives. They've had some good field position. Really hasn't had to do a lot, but their stats. I mean, what are you added up some stats? Where are they at in the first half with some of those guys?
Yeah, so Ross hasn't had to throw the ball much. I only have him he's 4 for 4 for 45 yards, and I'm just going to give you guys who are listening at home, this is an unofficial stat line. This is me trying to do the best I can to go through it. Their leading rusher is Bolden, who has 156 yards and 3 touchdowns. And they have Phillips, who has two touches for 63 yards and a touchdown. Johnson for 3 touches for 41 yards and a touchdown. And then Ross has been able to gash them a little bit, two rushes for 25. And one of the big things as we saw was Diaz with the 95-yard touchdown return.
Yeah, the hair was flying all over the place, running down the field, but he had fun, and I think they got a little too much excitement there, and they had the penalty right after that play. And for the Falcons, really, the stat that really jumps out to me is that they've thrown the ball to 5 different receivers. DJ had 111, again, not official. DJ had 111 yards passing. One of those was on that screen to R.J. Richard. R.J. Richard had the biggest play there as they run the screen on first down, coming out after the kick return or the kickoff. And so, yeah, Heights has not really had much. I didn't add up too much of the rushing yards. I think the most was John Randall got about 22 yards in the first half. Just not a lot of running for the Falcons. They've had a couple plays, 5 and 6 yards. DJ had a couple good runs there and midline and running some beer there. But we have not gotten the outside rocket toss going. We just cannot get any we can't get the edge. I mean, our edge players are not as strong and big as physical as the edge players from Northwest.
Well, and I'll also throw that up to scheme. Martin does a great job, but he has one heck of a defensive coordinator in Marinelli, who's been around to several schools and came last year, and it really transformed their defense. Because a few years ago they were scoring on everybody, but they also had a hard time keeping anybody from scoring.
Yeah.
This last year,
he was the head coach at was it Eisenhower?
Yes, he was the head coach at Goddard Eisenhower for several years. Decided to step away. I mean, you and I know about the pressures of coaching, and then just that one more step up, being the head guy. Sometimes you want to go back and be a coach.
Yep.
A lot of time the head guy doesn't get much coaching, and the head guy over at Northwest has had a long history of head coaching experience. He picked up last week. He picked up against North. He picked up his 102nd win.
Coach Martin did at Northwest already?
He has 71 at Northwest.
Okay. He was also the head coach up at Troy.
Yes.
Before he actually came to Heights. He was up there at Troy for a few years and head coach up there, and then came to Heights for a few years, and now he's been – how long has he been at Northwest now?
Oh, I want to say he's been here, 6 years?
I think 13, actually.
9 years? 9 years. Shane's over here telling me I'm wrong. I'm glad I have him in here.
There you go. So 9 years over there. I was going to say 9 years for 100 wins. That's a pretty good record over that 9-year span for sure.
And he's had a lot of success, and he's built a program up that was, and I think I said this last week when we were previewing this one, that was it was a middle-of-the-road team for a long time. And now you look at Northwest and you see those navy blue helmets and you think, oh, why did Michigan come down for a high school game?
Well, I got a trivia question about the Northwest helmet.
Okay.
We'll get it right here, right after this kickoff here. We'll get it right here after the kickoff and see if probably I'll put it in the end zone.
And Art is going to go ahead and kick it deep, and it looks like it's going to hit about the middle of that H.
So the Michigan helmet and the color scheme, originally, I'm a Northwest grad. I graduated in 1992. And the original colors for Northwest is royal blue, not navy blue.
Really?
And then, but the helmet for Northwest has always been that dark navy blue. And we had, when I was a freshman, in freshman and sophomore year, we had navy helmets, the same color. We just had blue NWs on there.
Okay.
And I kind of gave it away. Gosh, the trivia question, what was the first year they actually had the Wolverine helmet?
Well, I'm old, so I forgot already.
There you go. It was actually 1990 was the very first year that they had the Michigan helmet.
It looks like we have a counterplay, and again, it's the penetration that Northwest can make that messes up the blocking schemes.
John Randall picking up, actually losing a couple of yards. So, yeah, 1990, my junior year in high school, we get the Michigan helmets, and we still but have our royal blue jerseys, but we still had the yellow pants. And then the next year we did it, and we actually used to have gold face masks that went with it because,
Okay.
you know, they switched it over. It's actually the coach over there was Don Davis at the time, and he brought that in, and all of us juniors and seniors were, oh, yeah, that's the best-looking helmet ever. And we had that and won some City League championships with it for a couple years. And back then, you only took 9 DJ with a little bit of midline right there. You're going to gain about 1.
And looking at the pile, it looks like number 11, McGee with the tackle. I think that's 2 in a row for him.
Yeah. So, but then they had the Michigan Wolverine helmets for several years until Coach Weston Sharts, if
Right,
you remember,
and
Weston Sharts took over. And he kind of changed the whole color scheme. They went with a gold kind of not a Notre Dame-looking helmet, but more maybe a Navy, when I say Navy, the Naval Academy, kind of a gold helmet. They're going to try a little bit of rollout right there. Just a little bit too much heat on that one as he's trying to get it to Randall. And, again, a little bit too much pressure there on DJ.
I do remember that helmet. It was kind of gold, and it had kind of an elaborate logo.
Yeah, that kind of a grizzly with some type of a paw print or something on the side of that. And that was probably there for 3 or 4 years or so. And then I want to say that Coach Martin took over for Weston Sharts. I can't remember. Shane Monroe,
point, yeah.
Yes, he's nodding his head, yes. So it was Weston Sharts, and then when Martin came back, he's like, we're going back to the Northwest, the Michigan helmet. It kind of really fit the color scheme. It's a great-looking helmet.
It's an iconic helmet. And, almost get a block. I wonder if he did get a tip on it.
Yeah.
And there's no signal from the official that he got a tip on it. So it's going to be downed at about the 48-yard line.
Marion Wilkins was the one that got down there and downed it.
And I think, and 28's the one that was rushing off the edge, which is Hill.
Yeah, and then when Martin came in, he really started to go with the Michigan look and the kind of the jerseys. I think they have all different kinds of jerseys. They got navy jerseys. They got all yellow. They're really changing it up a little bit. But back when I was in there, we still had kind of the royal blue look with the dark navy helmet.
Right. We have a little bit of a motion with it looks like an outside zone stretched with Bolden for another 5 yards.
Amarion Wilkins picking up another tackle. He's one of their leading tacklers for tonight. He's got 4. And then right there with him, you could probably give half a tackle there to Jalen Hanks. He's second on the list for the Falcons.
Yeah, that was a good view of the Hogs up front. I mean, when I say outside zone, I mean that's a O-line term. You take a couple big steps outside and then try to get your head across to give your running back an able to go. So we just got a quick pass out to Coleman, and that'll gain 13 yards.
Yep,
it looks
picking
like.
up a first down. Adrian Patterson playing a little defense. He picks up his first tackle of the night, playing some corner. Actually, he's playing a little bit of safety out there now.
It looks like we have trips to the play side, And they're just going to do, it looks like another outside zone play with Bolden, who's going to take another rush for about 25 yards down to the 11.
Tackle by Elijah Mosley on that from his free safety position.
And if you remember when I talked at the beginning how it's gonna be very simple up front, and that's why these O-linemen can do it at such a high level is there's not a whole lot of thinking. One thing I've always learned coaching is if a player's thinking too much, they're not playing very fast.
Yeah.
And if it's simple and there's solid rules, it's like that was a good handoff inside to number 12, L.J. Phillips for what looked like a 13-yard touchdown run.
Just right up the middle. Looks like,
that's his
second touchdown of the night, making it 48-7 for the Grizzlies. And just marched it right down the field. And after we couldn't really do much with it, on for another extra point.
Is Arndt. And
he's perfect for tonight. He hasn't missed yet, has he?
He is perfect for tonight. And we did not jinx him this time. So that's another one. That would be 7 extra points tonight. And, Northwest just, like I said at the halftime break, is Northwest just keeps doing what they do best, and that's just keep the pedal on, have pretty simple play call as far as scheme wise, and then give them different looks that for the defense to have to deal with when it comes to the skill players. So you've seen them run the same play out of doubles, out of one tight end, out of trips. I mean, you've seen them run the same play schematically, but they put a lot of different window dressing to try to get that
different
defense.
Formations, different guys where they're lined up, stuff like that. Yep.
Yes.
That's the key to it is try to make it look the same. And, Heiss is kind of doing the same thing with their flex. They've got so many different ways that they can run the flex with their offense. It's just not working well tonight against the Grizzlies' defense when we're trying to block with pretty much smaller, not as strong guys as what Northwest has over there on their side of the ball.
All right, Art with the kickoff, and he's going to go ahead and kick it deep again. Didn't get as much in the air, but still goes through the end zone.
You see that a lot in the college and NFL. They don't have to put a lot of the height on it as they want to because they just want to put it through the end zone, so they just drive it nice and low, good hard drive, and just put it in the end zone where they don't even have an opportunity to return it. And, so they're making heights always start at about the 20-yard line, and we started there at the 20-yard line last time, and see if we can't get something rolling. Last time we were on the 20, we called that screen on the very first play. I don't know if Jared will call that again the second time around. We'll see what happens here. And is it clock's already running, so
yeah, so it is a running clock for the second half because it's over 40.
Oh, okay.
That's
I thought it was the fourth quarter, but I guess it's the second half.
That's another new rule for this year.
Okay.
Before this year, it was
fourth quarter only.
Fourth quarter only.
Yeah.
Second half by 40.
Yeah. That was DJ picking up a couple yards right there, making it about 2nd and 8. So, this second half is going to go by fast. That's, Heights has really got to try to hurry things up if they can to try to score, or they really just don't want to make it any worse than it actually is and try to take their time and just try to get better. Northwest is a really good opponent, and they're a good team, and Heights has got a young team, and DJ Dingle just gets swallowed up right there on that play, trying to run a little bit of midline.
That's Hale again, coming down the line, knowing how to play that play.
And didn't lose. I thought he was going to, they were going to give about a 3 or 4 yard loss, but they're going to say that he was just a tackle. Now I'm not sure. That's the AD down there.
What he's doing is he's asking about the running clock. I think, and what I said earlier, I think it's a running clock for after 40, after the half.
So I don't.
Well, maybe not. I need to get some clarification on the rule on that.
Well, they're putting a bunch of time back on the clock. I think it's. I didn't know it was the whole second half, but.
Well, and I've been watching a lot of games from another City League team, and they've had running clocks that second half.
So yeah, it's 6:25. Mr. Monroe's getting the clock set back as best we can there, and they're going to run a little bit of screen out there to the outside, trying to. I mean, DJ had a little bit of steam on it right there to Chase Harris, just couldn't come up with it. Going to bring up about 4th and 10, and just trying to get it on the edge right there where they don't have to have those big guys on their running backs and quarterbacks, trying to let the little guys out on the sides get a little action out there.
Right. So we have, deep we have it looks like number 1. Looks like number 1, Jalen Martin back deep to get the return for Northwest. And, if it's good news. It's good news for Heights if it's 11. It's good news for Heights if it's not a running clock. So that's McGee back there again. He gets it on one bounce and gets swallowed up by a bunch of Heights special teams players.
That was Jaden Hamilton, number 9, number 81, Amarian Wilkins, and number 21, Javon Martin, all right there on that tackle there for the Falcons. There's a good look at those guys down there. All those guys are juniors. I think actually Jalen Hanks is the lone senior in that group. Yeah, he was. Got a lot of juniors that are a lot of juniors and sophomores. Probably they're one of their best classes that they have is the sophomores and the juniors, and but definitely have some good senior players with Jalen Hanks, Ryan Depperschmidt. Those when I say Ryan Depperschmidt, that's Dylan Depperschmidt. Excuse me. Ryan Depperschmidt was his older brother. Had a couple Depperschmidts here, and another long run.
Jeremiah
right there.
Moore with a run for about a. Was that 59-yard touchdown run for Jeremiah Moore?
Well, and their starting quarterback, who used number 16, what's his name? I forget.
Ross.
Well, he just manhandled one of our guys and drove him about 20 yards down the field.
And that is
he was lined up at quarterback, tight end.
Yes.
And I don't know who it was, but if you go back and rewind that play, you're going to see him drive somebody down the field about 20 yards. That he was the tight end last year is what I'm hearing from Mr. Monroe, and now he's the starting quarterback. So,
well, they had a pretty darn good quarterback last year too. I mean, it's
whatever. Where'd he end up going? Didn't he? Northwest
Missouri State.
Northwest Missouri State.
Okay, because you have a lot of former Grizzlies right now playing on big time Saturday football.
Yeah, Brees Hall. I saw Brees Hall play Iowa State, Oklahoma last week.
You had Brees Hall versus Marcus Hicks.
Marcus Hicks is
he's at Oklahoma.
At OU.
So you had 2 Northwest Grizzlies on either sideline of that one game up in Ames.
And didn't Iowa State end up winning that game?
They did, but with a go-ahead touchdown by Northwest Brees Hall.
Yeah, he had a heck of a game. He's been playing really well.
Yes. Yeah, so you have a lot of talent coming through this program here, and like Martin told me, and you have 7 right now on that sideline or on the field right now that have offers from Division I schools. So he just seems to keep reloading and doing a good job developing them from the time they walk in the door as freshmen to walking out as seniors.
Well, one of the big things about when you talk about developing, here's another kick all the way
to the end zone.
About developing players is when you go to, they've been in the state championship the last 2 years in a row, and that's 13 games.
Yes.
Right? So when you look at over the course of a couple of years and you have guys they get to practice. They might not get to play in those big-time games, but they're practicing, and they're practicing for 13 straight weeks. They're going to get better.
Yes.
They're going to be much better players. And that's the same thing that happened to Heights as we made a run. For 2 or 3 years, we had guys that were playing almost a double season. Normal this season's 9 weeks. Now you're adding on, 5 more weeks. That's almost half another season.
Well, and that is the importance of getting the postseason, because they've went to the state title game the last
2 years. Lost them both,
but they were
close. Both 12-1 records, right?
Yeah, and they were close both years. So Mill Valley last year 40-31. Yep. But if I recall, because I listened to that game, It was a last drive deal that they lost on. Like they were actually driving down the field and Mill Valley made a play.
And stopped them, or Mill Valley scored to go ahead?
Mill
Valley scored to go
Valley.
ahead. So, yeah, Monroe's shaking his head. I think your son played on that team, Mr. Monroe. So I'm sure he remembers that. Kind of a heartbreak for him. He wishes they would have won it. But, man, they've had some really good teams the past couple of years.
But you're right. That's an extra 4 or 5 weeks of practice. And 52 with the tackle, which is number 52 is Morford.
That's John Randall on the carry, picking up a couple yards on that play.
And I even remember coaching for North. I always loved the extra game if we made it through our districts, and that was back when you could win your last 2 games or 2 out of the last 3 and get into another playoff game.
Yes.
That extra week is so important because
just morale and yeah, I agree.
Trying to build a program is trying to get the good feelings around and playing that extra week, and then inviting freshmen to come and practice with the varsity, and you reward those kids that are doing a great job.
There's John Randall picking up another couple yards. Looks like it's still going to bring up about 4th and 8 here. The Heights will probably have to punt. But, yeah, you're right. Now there's an 8-game regular season, and then everybody is seated on the 9th game. Well, all this COVID, I don't know exactly the playoff, how it's all going to work out. But in the last couple of years, there's 8 regular season games, and in the 9th game you're actually seated. And if you're like a North that might not win any games, they're going to be seated against the number 1 team. But back several years ago, there was a 4-team district, and those were set before the season even began.
Right.
It was all about location, and you were put in your district by where your school was located at.
Right.
And we had several different districts with Heights. We were Heights in Emporia and Junction City, and sometimes East High, and other times it would be Southeast and East and Heights and maybe Emporia. It was always different depending on what class you're on. Northwest had a tough regional.
Yes, they did.
When I was in high school, it was Northwest, Hutch, Garden, Dodge.
Yes.
That was our district. Now, back when I played, it was 1 team went out of districts, so not good. So you really had to be pretty good to get out of your districts, and then after a while they changed it to 2 teams out of your district. And now I think now the system now that they have, I think that's the best system to reward the overall length of your season. If you're undefeated 8-0, you're going to get the worst team most likely, and you're going to win that game with ease. And then you should have not as hard road to continue down in the playoff scheme.
And it looks like we have. Looks like we have more with another big run after a 9-yard with Wheeler.
And a flag over there on the sideline. I don't know if that's maybe a late hit or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll wait for the white hat. But like when I played at Northwest was in our district, South was in our district, and Campus.
Yes. So some of the worst teams in the 6A.
Right, and my first 2 years coaching, we got that 10th game because we won 1 game.
I think his microphone's not working, but he's saying
personal
foul, holding,
face mask,
penalty's going to offset.
Penalty's offset.
Replay second down. There you go.
Yeah, so I mean, I coached teams that went 1-8 and made the playoffs when I saw teams that went 6-3 who did not.
Yeah, because they had a tougher district and stuff like that. Exactly.
Right, and so honestly I think this system's the best we've had in a long time. Now we had a pretty good season 2 years ago at North. I had a really good offensive line. We had a 1,500-yard back. I was pretty proud of that. It looks like we have.
That's the end of the third quarter. We'll get ready to start the 4th quarter. Now it'll definitely be a running clock.
See, but like 2 years ago, we had a good team. We won 2 games and had a lot of close games. We were still gifted with Derby for week 9. So here's the cheerleaders for Heights.
There we go. Give the cheerleaders a shot. All right, so there's a good shot of the cheerleaders. You know, they actually get to cheer to fans tonight. I mean, I don't know if you guys, if you can hear it or not, but there is, I don't know, a couple hundred for sure on probably maybe both sides of the stadium. So it's good to see the fans that have an opportunity, and they're trying to stay their social distance. They're supposed to stay with the group that they came with. What happened was is if you're not aware of, the district decided that they were going to let fans in, and what happened was each player got 4 tickets, 4 vouchers that they could use to buy a ticket. So they might have handed them out, but not all of those people, maybe not, they didn't come. Maybe they did. So it's actually a pretty good crowd. There's a tackle right there. Jalen Hanks with the loss of about 3 or 4 yards.
And sophomore Gabriel Williams with the run. It looks like Northwest put in some of their younger kids.
I'm sure they try to do that.
You had Verduzco, who's a sophomore, in there at quarterback, and it looks like Northwest is going to punt the ball.
This is probably still their first punt team. Their starting quarterback is back there punting.
Well, and you have your starting offensive lineman in there. I do see their big number 75.
People, the guys are running in. They've got.
Yeah, you have your starting offense out there because, I mean, that's their punt team. Because you still have Knott in there. Their long snapper, and I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out there. Long snapper's number, I think it's number 60. Engel, who's a senior, and he had a good snap.
Yep.
I mean, that's one of the most underrated positions in all of football right there.
Yeah, put the ball between your legs and snap it back 15 yards and try to get it right there on the line without him dropping it. And you know, that is tough because you're going to get hit most likely as soon as you snap that ball.
Yep.
And but yeah, the voucher thing, I think it's been working pretty good. You know, all the dancers got 4 tickets. The cheerleaders got 4 tickets. The guys in the booth, we're essential workers for people who actually can't come. So we have a pass list that that a few people do get to come in and work the games, and the chain people and the people in the press box running the scoreboard and stuff like that. So here's a little counter for Randall, not going to work as well.
Swallowed up on defense for Northwest by, it looked like, you know, number 96, who is.
You're going to call some different names here now.
Yeah, I got to look down. It's a linebacker, Sandoval, who's a sophomore.
Yeah, this is probably their JV guys. Heights still has pretty much their starters over there, still in the game. They're trying to work on stuff and trying to get better. So they're trying to go run their number 1 team, see if we can't get some points here. Here's John Randall breaking it, and he is off to the races. They're not going to catch John Randall.
I mean, there's not a lot of people in the state that are going to catch John Randall when he gets out in the open.
That was an 82-yard run for John Randall right there on rocket toss. Finally, it worked, got the edge, and Heights scores a little points. It's hard to get excited when it's, you know, you've been getting punished the whole game and we're down by 30 or 40 points, and but that was a heck of a good job blocking on the outside there by the Heights offense, and John Randall takes it to the house.
What you also mentioned at the beginning is Heights is very young, so right now your Heights is mostly sophomores playing, sophomores and juniors, correct?
Yep.
Well, they're playing against sophomores and juniors right now.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit to be excited about.
Yeah, even on the offensive line, there's three underclassmen. There's a couple juniors, and I believe just 2. So I think there's 3 juniors and two seniors. So, you know, they're not seniors, but they've got several guys coming back. Aaron Meir, number 60, right there. There's Dylan Depperschmidt, number 52. He's a senior. Number 67 there was Pancrax. He's a junior. And so here's the kickoff team, and we'll see if Heights. I'm assuming that Coach Martin will stick his JV offense back out there just to kind of give them a look, and we'll probably. We don't have a JV game on Monday, so we're going to go travel to Northwest. The first time our JV team has traveled anywhere. All their games have been here. We've been live streaming all the JV games here on Monday night, freshman and JV games on Monday night.
Does that mean you get a Monday night off?
I get a Monday night off.
Holy
No
smokes.
live streaming. Monroe, you live streaming? There you go. So on the Wichita Northwest will be live streaming. Do you have a channel? We'll give a little shout out to NWHS Grizz on YouTube, right?
Yeah, or you can go to NWHGrizz.com
NWHGrizz.com as well. So they have their own YouTube channel that they've produced all their games on. And
I watched it last week when they played North in the freshman game. So it's not very hard to get to. So
13th Tyler area. That's where I grew up, over there on the west side of town.
Yep. So looks like we're in with the same group we had last time. That big run reminded me a lot about Bethel. So
yes.
There's a lot of Bethel connections. Steve Martin actually went to Bethel.
Yeah.
So he attended there in college, and I say that because people who've listened to us the last 3 weeks, we talk about it a lot because of Terry Harrison and all that. They beat who did they beat? 83-35.
Yes.
And they
running the same offense that Heights runs.
They did.
Running the flex bone, the triple option. People say they can't score. Well, they can. You can do it. You just got to make sure that you're running it right and have some decent guys and
right.
calling the right plays. And the other team's got to not know what's going on or where it's coming from
right.
and stuff like that. And that's where you can really – that's what the college when you recruit to guys to run the flex bone, you get the guys that you want.
Yep.
And
Narduzco with a good 7 or 8 yard run for a first down coming downhill. He's a good looking quarterback. Little confusion there. He takes it and he's just going to bully his way forward for about a yard.
Yeah. They're going to say they're coming out. Jalen Hanks took off down the other end with the ball, but they're going to say that he was down.
So there was a little miscommunication back there, and that's just a good job of Verduzco to get what he can.
Yeah. I don't even know how Jalen Hanks got the ball, but they must have said he fumbled it or he was down. But Jalen Hanks took off. Number 4, he's coming back to his outside linebacker position. And they're Northwest guys, they've been doing it all night, looking over to the sideline, trying to get the plays from either Coach Martin or one of his assistants now calling the JV plays.
All right, so it looks like another outside zone play to
Jaden,
Williams.
Jaden Caldwell and Javon Martin on the tackle there.
So Williams with basically a no gain. It's going to be 3rd and 9. Northwest in a pistol look for the first time today.
Hey, usually they're offset.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Maybe just to give a different look, and then they call a play.
Right.
Because he doesn't know if he's going to go right or left.
So it looks like, and I think that was a power read, but he gets it, and he goes for 10 yards and a first down. That's number 43, Jerry Johnson, sophomore, 5'8", 160.
Tackled there by Isaiah Yadua and number 41, Kedron Whitlock.
I see a lot of sophomores on this offense right now. That's kind of scary for the future because there were some juniors on the starting lineup too. Downhill run by number 30. Was it 32? Yeah, 32 Williams.
I'm trying to get he looks like the guy made the tackle is tying his shoe. I believe number 64. 64 is Adam Worth.
So again, another outside zone. Oh, and he's going to get a holding call.
Holding call coming back.
Good potential touchdown saving tackle, but the holding call.
Mosley, all the way back to the white hat. He's going to call holding.
And and that's by the tackle. And I know I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If you're out on the edge, you're going to get caught.
Yeah.
And he actually grabbed the D lineman and turned his body.
I didn't see.
Around.
You saw it, yeah.
I did.
Definitely hold. I mean, the white hat. That's what he's looking at back there, because he's behind the play. And
Coach in O-line, I always said, well, there's going to be holding on every play. Just don't get caught.
Yes.
But that was a little too late.
You teach them techniques of keeping hands in tight
right.
and try not to get out on the shoulders where the referees can see it. You've got to stay inside with your hands.
Exactly.
And they don't usually call that stuff in there.
If you keep your hands inside, you drive your feet, You push you can throw your hips basically as you're driving your feet and suck the air out. Get rid of the air. That's what I used to call it. You got to suck the air out by getting the space gone. Then they can't have extension. They don't see a hole.
Yeah, that tackle right there, Jaden Caldwell. I mean, it was a great play by Jaden. He's just kind of not excited. It's hard to be excited when you're down 56-14. But that was a great play by Jaden Caldwell right there, coming from the right side. He's just a junior as well, underclassman starting there at the defensive line. 6'2", 185. So he's got a good frame on him. And something to look for in the future for the Falcons.
We have number 43 again with the rush. That's Jerry Johnson.
Tackle there by number 41, Keedron Whitlock, a 6', 215 senior. Yes, senior on that one.
Looks like the punt team's going to come in.
They're going to punt it here at 4th and 20. Not a really good snap, but a decent kick.
And he has really good hang time there.
They didn't know where it was going, but took a Heights bounce.
Did.
They're going to down it about the 42-yard line, it looks like.
So he can play quarterback, he can play tight end, and he can punt a little bit.
There you go. Well, Heights might be able to get one more play off. I mean, the clock is going to continue to run here. And but probably this is going to be the end of the game, 56-14. We actually have one more home game next week, hosting Wichita South here next week. In Northwest, who does Northwest have?
Northwest has a showdown of the year against East, who is 4-0.
Here is a counter going to the house for Adrian Patterson.
Yeah, so Northwest is going to, let's see, what was that? That was a 58-yard run?
58-yard touchdown run, yeah, for Adrian Patterson right there. And they ran a little counter play and caught Northwest off guard right there. Probably just going to kick the extra point, and that's going to be the ball game. And, so I like Northwest in that game. I'm going to pick Northwest over East next week.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with you. Because we saw East last week.
Talented,
got
a lot of athletics.
The thing about Northwest is they are just going to do what they do.
And
they're going to come out, they're going to play their game. They're not going to let anybody or anything faze them. Yeah. And, I mean, that's the sign of a good team and a well-coached team. I think that, they can match East. East High has athletes galore, but Northwest can match them athlete for athlete. And it's going to definitely be interesting. It's going to be a very good game. We'll see what happens.
Yep, we'll be tuned in on that one for sure, just to kind of follow up on the that game. And then, like I said, we're going to be here next week against South. Here's a good shot of both teams kind of at the end of the game. They're not supposed to, high five and shake hands anymore. They just kind of come to the hashes and kind of wave, and that's all they're allowed to do now. But we'll be back next week, guys. Thanks so much for helping Dalton and Braden on the cameras, and Mr. Monroe on our scoreboard. Mitch, you're awesome there calling games. And Caleb, thanks for switching back and forth between all the views and running our video and things, and we appreciate it. And we appreciate all of you guys out there listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. That helps us out a bunch. I've always wanted to say that, I watch a lot of YouTube channels. Now I get to say it, man. Hey, let's,
sounds good.
Let's like, share, and subscribe. Do the same thing with NWHS Grizz TV on their site. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that is that. What's the quote? We got a live stream chat?
Yes, he says, are you guys going to live stream the soccer game this Saturday?
We will. We actually have live stream volleyball and soccer. I will be out here at calling the soccer game. We'll just have video for the JV game starting at 11, and I will call the varsity game starting at 1, and we'll have a camera inside for the volleyball as well. That's about it, guys. Thanks, appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right. See you.